Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we have another video. And this game is played between Kwang Liam Le versus Magnus Carlsen. It's from the quarterfinals of the Airthings Masters and it's game 4 of their match. So, Le is with the white pieces and Carlsen is as black. So, Le opens with d4, so the queen's pawn opening, and we have d5. c4, the queen's gambit, e6, the declined variation, and it's the queen's knight's variation with knight to c3. c5, the towerish defence, and c captures on d5. c captures on d4, and it's a Shara gambit with c captures on d4. So an exchange in the centre here, and adding some pressure to this knight. So queen to a4 with check, opening up the position. And from here we block with the bishop, so bishop to d7, and queen captures on d4, so gaining some material, and e captures on d5, and the queen captures on d5, knight to f6, attacking the queen, and the queen moves back to d1. So in this position you can see the development from white is pretty poor. The only thing that's been developed is this knight, and anything else isn't really doing anything. So the only thing that's happened from white's perspective is 2 pawns have been exchanged and this knight has developed. That's pretty much everything that white has done in this position. But from black's perspective, this bishop has been developed, as you can see here, and the knight's been developed, and 2 pawns have been exchanged. So it's just another piece that's been developed. So the development in this game is not the greatest, but we still see some development here. So we have knight to bishop to c5. So now this bishop's been developed, and now you can see that development from black is fairly decent. So you can see that this bishop occupies all these dark squares, this bishop occupies all these dark squares, and this this dark knight attacks these light squares. Now from here we have knight to f3 developing, and knight to c6, e3, and castles on the king side from Carlsen. Bishop to e2 from Le, and we have queen to e7. Castles from Le, and we have knight to e5. Knight to d4, knight back to c6, and a3. a5 and b3. Rook a to d8, and this rook is now on this d file, and they're both connected, as you can see. We have knight to b5, knight captures on d4, knight captures on d4, bishop captures on d4, queen captures on d4, and bishop to b5, queen to b2, and bishop captures on e2, queen captures on e2, and we have knight to e4, a4, and rook f to e8. We have bishop to a3, and queen to e6, b4, and rook to d2, attacking the queen, queen to b5, and knight captures on f2. Rook to c1 attacking the... bishop to c1 attacking the rook, and we have knight to h3 with check. So in the position, king to h1 is going to be played, but you might be wondering, surely we can just capture this knight? And I'm going to show you what will happen if you actually did. So, if g captures on h3, then there are 2 scenarios that could play out. So, one is queen to g6 with check, and after queen to g5 blocking this, we're going to have a trade. Queen captures on g5, and king to h1, and it's going to be queen to g2, which is checkmate. Going back in the position. So from here you could also play queen captures on e3, and the point is, after the king moves to h1, we're going to play queen to e4 with check, and after the king moves back, it's going to be queen to g2, which is checkmate. So, in this position, if the rook defends with rook to f3, then we're simply going to capture, and after the king moves to g1, it's just going to be a checkmate on the g2 square. So, in this position, king to h1 was played. Now we have knight to f2 with check, king to g1, knight to h3 with check, king to h1, knight to f2 with check, king to g1, and it was in this position on move 29 that both of the players decided to have a draw, as in this position there's nothing more to be done other than repetition. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.